Welcome back, NoDQ Galaxy, to a brand new edition of the NoDQ review, number 379. I am Virtue, being joined by this week's elite panel of the review. Aaron Rift is here, Big G, the number one Jeff Jarrett fan in the world, Noah Foster, Jeff Meacham, Dave Scheffler jumping on as an alternate because TJS committed to be on, did not come. He is officially gone forever from the NoDQ review, fired. Didn't I say one time he'd be allowed back if people or if somebody super chatted $100? Well, the only way he could come back in the future is if he super chatted $100. That's the only way he can come back. He has to super chat $100. He will be booted out of the NoDQ chat later on after the show. We need to hear his excuse. What's going on, everybody? Big G, what's up?
Nothing much. Had a good episode of Monday Night Raw last night. We got some good topics to discuss. I'm ready for the newest episode of The Adventures of Big G and Jeff Jarrett. So, like I always say, let's get this ball rolling, baby.
We should do one of TGS and all the reasons that he doesn't show up. That would be something funny. But
there you go, Aaron.
Moving on. Noah, what's going on?
Not much, Virtual. Once again, NoDQ Galaxy and fam. Top of the evening to you on this fine St. Patrick's Day. I mean, there's 70 hours without power this weekend, but got to catch AEW. Checked out Raw. Work's been steady and simple. And it's good to be in the warmth and comfort of all things wrestling and my simple lifestyle. So, you know I'm always about. Let's get into it. But it's good to see y'all once again.
All right, stay tuned. Jeff Meacham, what's going on? Mickey Mouse, Blue Hat, whatever that is. Bad connection.
For sure, Mickey. Always good to be in the NoDQ review, even from Disneyland. And where am I at? Oh yeah, I'm at the Mexican restaurant. Yeah, it's good to be back. I'm sorry I'm not on the scooter. The birds in my neighborhood decided to take advantage of its stationary positioning and ruin the seat. So I apologize in advance.
All right, well, stay tuned. I'm going over to Dave Scheffler next, and he's going to give his opportunity to win the Virtue Award tonight. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. I was ready just in case Aaron called me out of the bullpen, so I'm ready to go. And as Big G says, let's get this ball rolling, baby.
Didn't I say when TJS committed and I was making alternates like you and Oofman, I was given the odds. I said 60% chance.
Mm-hmm.
It was going up as the day got closer, as the show got closer.
Hey, I thought for sure I was ready to watch it in the bedroom. I thought, oh, for sure, there's no problems. And then all of a sudden, Aaron messaged me at 10-7. I said, oh, my gosh, I guess I better get
out of rotation, $100 to come back. Also, and I will be the back to the full-time moderator. Now, nothing against Gino and Colin. They are still the next in line. And there will be times I need to take a week off. So they're going to have the opportunity. And they will be regulars on this show if they can make it, to be a panel member. Gino's going to be on next week. So this is probably like Roman Reigns coming up at WrestleMania. It could be my last run here through a bunch of moderating the review. So we'll see how it goes. What's going on, Aaron?
Well, not a whole lot. We got WrestleMania coming up. We just had AEW Revolution. So there are some things to talk about in the world of wrestling. Shout out to everybody watching live or on demand. We do have a few TJS stands in the comment. Maybe one of them is TJS's burner. We'll see.
Purpose, so he could send you money with burner accounts backing him up.
Well, hey, I'll take it. Anyways,
I personally think he should have to donate $100 to the political opponent of our choosing. What he should do.
Thank you for that, Jeff. Jeff probably will win the Virtue Award this week, but we'll see how things go. Before we get to the adventures of Jeff Jarrett and Big G, though, Psycho Jet Black in a $5 super chat before it's here. He says, when Danhausen was using that cannon, I was fearing that he was going to knock people out of their seats like Maud Flanders. Oh, man. If you remember the Simpsons episode, that was how Maud Flanders, the wife of Ned Flanders, met her untimely demise. And maybe they'll air that on TV, and maybe they'll do a follow-up segment where Danhausen can actually shoot somebody with the Danhausen cannon. What is it? The Cannonhausen.
Cannonhausen.
Blankhausen.
Yeah, I think they need to put that on TV. We need more of those segments with the T-shirt canon. But anyways, thank you for that, Psycho Jet Black. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get Jeff on the scooter, but Big G and Jeff Jarrett, well, they took a little trip to the happiest place on earth. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here is this week's little snippet, The Adventures of Jeff Jarrett and Big G.
Man, this park is incredible. It really is a nice break from wrestling. Yeah, no pressure. Hey, fellas! Whoa! Where's come from? Oh! Jeff Jarrett? Jeff Meacham? Out of my way! I'm a motorist! Ah! Whoa! Watch it! Whoa! Smooth driving, Meacham.
Wow.
That is beyond brilliant.
Oh man.
I have several questions, but it's okay.
Hey, your video quality is better now, Jeff. So it cured your.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good.
Well,
It was.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So wait, where were they walking? Like, I didn't recognize where they were walking at first.
Disneyland.
That's funny.
Uh,
Well,
Wait,
he was
Disneyland.
a pond. He was scootering across a pond because if that was a deeper lake of water, we would have a whole different situation on our hands.
Dude, the rivers of America are like right here. That would have been funny if I sank. Anyway.
I was waiting for the scooter to just go flop.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Shit.
Aaron got all
That's
that.
That's
Into,
the chauffeur, I beg of you.
Aaron got all that into one bundle this week.
Yep.
Are we caught up?
Yep. Let's go for it.
All right. Well, normally I don't pick AEW as a topic, but they did have a pay-per-view over the weekend. Noah, did you finally get to watch it?
I was, able to watch it just in time.
Revolution, right? So I didn't watch it. I know what happened based on the social media, but let's go around the horn. If you didn't watch it, I am curious on your opinions on. Because according to famous Dave, AEW is closing the gap. Well, look, any gap that you're behind the next competitor, if you had any momentum, if you get a little bit more traction, you're going to close the gap. So, what a way to put a statement out there. But do you really think is WWE kind of making some fans upset with ticket prices and maybe some main events and or feuds or whatever, and is AEW capitalizing on that? Noah, I'm going to start with you since you're Mr. AEW here on the NoDQ review. So have at it. Thoughts on Revolution? Obviously, this is kind of recap because Aaron's already talked about that. But if you have anything to say, go ahead. But are they closing the gap?
A couple of disclaimers. First and foremost, the Superman's opinions do not reflect anything from any other journalists or reporters, as I don't use social media or look at dirt sheets. Secondly, closing the gap is a very unique statement when it comes to a business structure because their audiences aren't as big as WWE, but the outlook of the product is finally being shaped to something more constant that fits the AEW structure and seems to fit the AEW fan base that might be steadily growing. Getting their own streaming platform for international fans to view these events is also a great step forward to try and encourage them to look at some of the only focuses on their product. Now, again, for those that don't know, this last weekend, I had 54 straight hours of no power. So outside Friday, 1:30 p.m. Standard Time, I watched nothing wrestling except Revolution when I could. As far as closing the gap, possibly. You saw the Ronda Rousey. Again, you want a brief conversation in this wrestling business, whether good, bad, indifferent, or fickle. I think Ronda Rousey definitely draws some buzz because she does bring mainstream media attention. This pay-per-view gave everybody everything that wrestling fans look for in a wrestling show. Definitive stories, unique narratives, unique what-ifs, returns, surprises, which is a very extremely rare thing in this business. So closing the gap comes down to, in my opinion, are you bringing attention to what professional wrestling has been or what could be in your own image? I say yes. I think, honestly, they've been off to a better structure and start that allows them to grow at their own steady pace. But as far as closing the gap, that gap is still huge. So simply put, I loved Revolution. I am enjoying what AEW is doing with the youth showcase of their roster. And I do think they are moving in a much better direction than they have been in a long time. To close a gap is one thing. To move forward is a whole nother narrative. And I will say they're moving forward. I'm going to leave it as simple as that.
All right, well, fair enough. Yeah, and Ronda Rousey's over there. Remember, she headlined WrestleMania, show closer. And now Tony Khan snatched her, got her over there. She was disgruntled when she left WWE, not happy. And now she's over in AEW. So there you go. What will happen with her? Any chance she maybe puts Tony Khan in an armbar or something? I don't know. That would be fun.
You never know, but it would be funny. But based on what I
Heel
saw,
Ronda
yeah,
Rousey's
it's
better.
question.
Yeah, heel
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey, babyface Ronda Rousey, too nervous. At least in terms of like promos and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Okay, Jeff Meacham. Or your feed cuts out.
I'm not seeing the show yet, but I'm happy Max is still world champion. I'm glad he hung Hangman once and for all. Life is good for me. Carry on. As you were.
That was it? Yeah, let me look at his. Hey,
I
Oofman, you want to join the
seen
bump?
know that Max, so I'm happy.
Oofman with Jeff's connection. If you want to join the review tonight, if you want to get ready, send Aaron a message. You can come in. No. All right. Anyway,
We're live, pal.
come back. And Aaron will call your name. I never see anybody raising their hand. Dave Scheffler, you're not going to win the award tonight, but you can sure try. So I'm going to give you plenty of opportunity here to knock your phone over or your camera or do something.
No knocking the phone over. I got the stand perfectly in front of me. But thank you, Virtue. And now I think now I watched my first pay-per-view of AEW ever the other night. Matches were good, but as Aaron said, oh my gosh, I was so tired the next day. And I had to work in the morning. And I thought I can't live through that many matches in one shot. If they could just split the difference if WWE and them could split the difference and both have 6 matches, at the most 7, it'd be perfect. I thought for sure they were closing a little bit of the gap, especially until the last few weeks. WWE finally has started to make an upward trend with the main events in the last few weeks, and culminating with Oba Femi last night. So AEW is making a run, but as Noah, I agree totally with Noah. That gap is still huge. You can't even put them in the same area code, zip code, or anything of WWE right now. But their shows have gotten better. I think Dynamite's gotten better over this year than they were in the recent past. And they just keep trying to push the young people, as Noah said, because that's where the money's going to be for them.
Yeah, and the people that say the gap's closing, obviously they're big AEW advocates and maybe on the payroll, and it's it's my the person that said it. It's my style of wrestling that I want to get over, so I'm always going to say good, positive things about it, and other people have to like it because I think it's what's the best thing in wrestling. So yeah, and so when I something like that, why don't you just shut up and not say anything about it and just enjoy your product and put it over like Noah does? Why do you have to refer to gaps being closed? That sounded weird, but like a Grand Canyon type of gap, it's going to take a long time, right, for that to shrivel up, and the Grand Canyon actually gets bigger over time.
Yeah, it does. By the way,
The
folks,
river
that's
started
actual
as a
science.
little river, right? So
Yeah, Colorado
Anyway.
River.
all right, we're gonna go over to Big G now, see if he's down from his high with Jeff Jarrett at Disneyland.
Oh man. Nah, I feel like AEW has a long way to go before they get anywhere near closing the gap to WWE. I mean, WWE's been around for a long, long time now. AEW still, I mean, it's not in its baby stages anymore, but it's still new
Young.
and young. Thank you. I mean,
Welcome.
and you know me, I used to love AEW. It's something in the last year or so, something hasn't clicked with me with AEW. I don't know if it was the long pay-per-views going up until like midnight, 12:30, and it's just my age. I'm just like, I don't want to sit around and watch wrestling till midnight. And I used to pay for the pay-per-views too, but like I just don't feel like it's worth my money anymore. I'm glad they're pushing the younger talent, which WWE needs to take note from.
Facts.
from AEW. We'll get to that here soon or with the main event, but yeah, they have a long way to go. You know, the ticket prices are a lot cheaper than WWE, so I feel like a lot of people who watch WWE are going over to AEW shows because the ticket prices. But yeah, I feel like they have a long way to go. You know, they have their streaming service with HBO Max, you know, and I guess Aaron had trouble with Max the other night. But you know, all streaming services are gonna have issues. ESPN Plus has issues with their PLEs and stuff like that. So they like I said, they have a long way to go before they can catch up to WWE.
So thank you, Big G. Another question I have: do you think that Jeff's internet connection is closing the gap to actually getting good tonight? No, okay. I was hoping, you know, sometimes fun.
Eh.
All right, Aaron, over to you, and Psycho Jet Black, and whoever else is gonna go ahead. This is rehash for you, but go ahead.
Oh wait, Jeff's connection is momentarily better. Jeff?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's not. Oh, okay. Well, I'll try to stick around for a few more minutes, I guess. No.
All right,
Okay.
Jeff, anything you wanted to add about this topic?
No. Just like I said, I didn't see the show, so I'm happy for Max.
Do you think AEW is closing the gap?
No, I don't. I think the quality of the presentation is much better than I'm doing right now, for sure. But yeah, the thing with AEW is the AEW diehards need to realize that they will always be like WCW was prior to Nitro, the distant number 2. Nobody's ever going to catch WWE on any level that's relevant for the business of the business. They're just not.
And like that's the thing, you do still have people that hate WWE so much. So, and I'm not talking about but there's people in the chat, so they're gonna say AEW is on fire. And you got the people that hate AEW, so they're gonna say no one's ever gonna beat WWE. And there's a tribal wrestling fans, and in reality, you know, who cares? But
Thank you. God.
just make honest assessments. I don't like when bullshit is spread and people try to push it back. So that's why I wanted to briefly talk about this tonight. Aaron, what else you got? Yes,
Yeah.
Jeff. Sorry, I was just saying, like I said, I've yet to watch the show. I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy it more than I expected to. But if the question is, are they closing the gap? The answer is going to be no until something seriously drastic happens, whatever the phrasing is. I don't think it's going to happen for them.
So they go head to head against Raw and beat them for 83 weeks.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's a bold take if you're trying to see Monday Night Wars happen, and we're already 20 plus years later since the first one. And again, like I said, the business is subjective. WWE has the longest legacy in this business for mainstream, if you will, over 50 plus years. And if the word of your day is tribalism, Aaron, sorry, this is the one. Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, look at that. Oh, wow. All right, Aaron, follow that up.
All right. Well, I will not use profanity for my comments on AEW and WWE. Look, you have to look at it this way. AEW started off red hot, and their popularity definitely cooled off. They were struggling to sell tickets. They had to start booking smaller venues. WWE, they kept going up. WrestleMania 40 was arguably the peak, and I feel like WWE has started to dip down a little bit. AEW had bottomed out, and I feel like AEW is slowly starting to go back up. So yeah, you could say the gap is closing slightly, but here's the key for the next couple of years, and this applies to both companies. I think Psycho Jet Black had a great super chat here in regards to this. He said, what AEW needs right now is to push younger guys like Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita into the main event. MJF should be that anchor for the future. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Facts. And that's literally what they're doing. If you've been watching, especially with the last face-to-face that was with the Protostar and MJF. Facts.
Well, again, as I said, I've not seen the show, so I can't properly objectively judge.
I respect that, but as someone who does watch the show every week and keeps up with WWE on highlights and TNA and watches worldwide wrestling stuff, I can't.
But listen, you don't have to watch the show to know that in order for a company to grow and gain new fans, you have to build stars.
Yeah.
Going back to the 70s, 80s, you need your attractions and you need fresh faces. There's only so much time until people are going to get tired of the same acts on television over and over. AEW needs to build new stars, and WWE needs to build new stars. You look at somebody like Oba Femi, WWE plays their cards right, they're going to stay red hot, but they can't rely on Jey Uso and LA Knight and even Cody Rhodes forever and Roman Reigns and CM Punk. WWE has to build new stars if they want to sustain their popularity, and for AEW to continue to grow, they too will need to build new stars and have something fresh for people.
I want to throw this in there to AEW's point. Not just new stars, like yes, you want to develop new younger stars, but also reinvent what you thought were going to be top star. Like look what happened with Roman Reigns, the initial years and then the bloodline.
Yep.
Yeah.
You find a guy in AEW that you could do that to, right? Maybe they were over, like Moxley. Like, can you make Moxley where people aren't making fun, where some people aren't making fun of him? So just that works too, right?
Yeah.
Make it get, people will get behind, and it's must-see TV.
Right. That's why Chris Jericho was successful for so long, because he always changed things up. When his character started to get stale, he took some time off and then he would come back and tweak his character and do something different with it. Same thing with The Undertaker. Undertaker evolved the character. After a while, the dead man got stale, so he brought in the American Badass, and after a couple of years, he was able to go back to being the Undertaker. But it was a different version of the Undertaker than what the original was, and that's the key to longevity in wrestling. For the AEW guys, yes, you can rely on some of those established guys, but at the end of the day, they need to be able to evolve the characters and change things up. Otherwise, it'll get stale and people will just lose interest because it's the same thing over and over again. Just like any television show you watch, after a while, the characters get stale. Look at The Simpsons. They've been running for 30 plus years and they peaked,
You know what's sad with that, Aaron?
in the
I
90s.
don't really ever watched The Simpsons back in the late 80s, early 90s, maybe to the mid 90s. And I felt like there were so many episodes, it'd be one. And all those since then, I haven't ever seen. That is sick. You know what I mean? Just that little short time as a kid and a teenager when I watched them, they've done more than that since then. Like, that's bizarre. But
it's amazing, like some stuff like Pokemon, for example, still draws interest when you could draw a freaking color and shape into something on a card.
You just got to be able to come up with new ideas and change things up. And it applies to both companies. You know, it's not saying AEW's on the rise or WWE's on the decline. It's looking at what they're producing and what they're going to be producing in the future. And if they can not only keep their audience, but actually grow it and bring in new eyeballs. And I agree with Ufman's take on The Simpsons. 4 through 8 was really the peak, right in the mid 90s. But anyways, we got another super chat here from Psycho Jet Black. He says, Jeff Meacham falling off his scooters more over than Austin Theory.
Damn.
Also, do you believe Braun Breaker will make it to WrestleMania to fight Seth Rollins? I think the odds are good. If anybody can do it, it would be a guy who's in his mid to upper 20s, who's in peak physical condition. And shout out to Will Ospreay. He came back way sooner than people were expecting. These guys they're genetic freaks, and they work their asses off with the rehab. So if anybody can do it, it's Braun Breaker. Yes, Dave?
I think last night was a key to that question, Aaron. I think because it looked like Seth was going to be going against Brock. I think the key to that last night was that we're going to see one of these weeks, one of those masked men might be Braun Breaker. And Seth's going to get attacked, and I think that's going to set up the WrestleMania match. I think he's coming back.
Yeah, he still has a little over a month. Well, yeah, about a month to heal up from the groin injury. So we'll see. I mean,
we don't know. We don't know if how Seth is medically cleared yet either. So
Exactly. And we still have time. Remember, folks, we still have a few weeks before WrestleMania. WrestleMania 33, Seth was still able to compete against Triple H. Do not count the architect out of WrestleMania 42.
All right, we are all caught up, Virtue.
So I'm going to give Punk and Reigns a week off now. Of course, Super Chats could bring up a topic we could talk about from the promo last night before the show's over, but we're going to have plenty more promos from them, I'm sure, before WrestleMania. Another interesting thing happened, too, with Randy Orton on the phone, but I want to, it is, you see something like that, and then it's just to get fans talking for a day or two. Nothing happens. Like Aaron said, it's probably his dad. Let's see if they go further with that, right? We could get another Danhausen in a box. What I really want to talk about for the main event is, and Brock's always been a big topic, right? So I'm sure he doesn't have too many more years left. So I want to enjoy all of these. And his open challenge has been accepted already. And it is going to be Oba Femi. They are going to have the two big powerhouses. Now, look, we had Brock and who's the other guy? Who's the tall guy that he beat? Was that at a WrestleMania? Brock and
Omos.
Omos, WrestleMania 39.
Nothing against Omos, but Oba Femi looks a little more impressive and agile than you. So I think we're going to get some more out of this than. And I'm not saying it was horrible, the worst thing I ever seen with Omos and Brock, but this has more meat on the bones here. And it looked, Brock is he's all in on this. He took that big last ride or whatever it's called. Whatever Oba Femi calls it, and he took it pretty well, and they're off to the races for Brock and Oba Femi. Huge WrestleMania match. I'm actually really looking forward to this because I'm always about the next big possible WWE main eventer, and could Oba Femi be one of those? Let's talk about it, and I'm going to start with Big G first on this one. Brock always does business. He doesn't always over. He lost to Goldberg in quick fashion. He lost to Rollins pretty quickly in a WrestleMania main event or opening once.
Opening match. Yeah.
Brock puts people over when he knows it's right. So what do you think?
So I think Brock is going to do the right thing and he'll put Oba Femi over. I think Brock sees a little bit of himself in Oba Femi. I mean, hopefully they do this right with Oba Femi. I mean, last night he came out to a big ovation. They're chanting his name. They chanted his name and they did the little chant after his name. Oba Femi is over. He has the entrance. He can talk in the mic. He can wrestle. I've seen his matches in NXT. He had his little stint feud with Rusev that finished last week. This is going to be an exciting match between the two. And I don't know if it was like sweat that was coming down Oba's face or if like he had shed a tear, thinking, I'm
gonna put no Big G, those stupid marks. Oh, he's crying for the moment.
Okay, so it was just sweat.
Oil, whatever, water, the lights.
Yeah.
Okay. Crying like that.
Yeah. But
good grief.
But yeah, he I think Oba Femi is the next big thing in WWE if they do this right at WrestleMania 42 and strap the rocket to him. Hopefully he beats Lesnar and then we could see if he's over with the fans. So if they do this right, I mean, I could see him maybe the world heavyweight champion by the end of 2026. They have a lot of faith in him. He was one of the longest NXT champions in NXT history, if I'm not mistaken. But I think everybody's excited for this match at WrestleMania to happen. So
two powerhouses going at it. One of them is Brock Lesnar, and the other one's supposed to be an up and comer.
What is this Oba Femi's potential with the gimmick?
Not Omos. So yeah, I think
that's part of his gimmick. He's from Nigeria, so he is gonna wear that.
Well, he's not coming out like Saba Simba Tony Atlas with the like that. You know what I mean? At least it's not like ridiculously over the top like that. But okay, Dave Scheffler. What do you think? We're not going to get Gunther and Brock Lesnar. We're going to get Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar.
I'm kind of happy about that. As much as I thought Trick Williams was over as one of the younger guys from NXT, Oba has been way over. And got to give Brock credit. Brock sold it last night. The look on, they said, oh, look on his face when Oba was coming out there, and then he sold the move, and it's called the Fall from Grace, powerbomb. I think Brock is definitely gonna do the right thing, and this is gonna put Oba over, because the only way to strap the rocket to him, as Aaron keeps saying, they got to continue it and push it. So I think that's gonna push him into a little higher ground than he should be, and this is where I think they're starting to get the younger guys that are gonna carry on the tradition when the other guys are starting to wind it up. Between him and Trick and whoever else is going to be brought up, even Fatu still has some time, and even with Carmelo, they got some good young guys are starting to give some story to, and I really like the Oba Brock match way more than Gunther, believe it or not. I think this is going to be a great match. We know Brock doesn't go a long distance, which is fine, but I think it might make him wrestle a little more other than just the suplexes and whatever. I think we might see a really, really decent match out of both of them. And they now got some weeks to build on it. And I'm excited to see what their build is. Because like we were done talking, and you mentioned in our chat earlier, Virtue, they're going to have to get Punk and Reigns. They're not going to be able to, you can't have them constantly in the talking, and they're going to have to take weeks off. And in the weeks off, we know Brock's going to be on the show in the next few weeks, a bunch of weeks coming up. And I think we're going to see a build in that story at this point now, too. And we'll get to see Oba on the mic a little bit more, too. And he can talk. Big G is right. He can talk, and I've seen his matches in NXT also. He's had some great matches with Shrek, with Braun Breaker. He can go. And I think this is going to be a good build-up for him.
And, don't completely, diss Gunther. He's probably being saved with Brock for Brock's last match.
Oh, yeah. I'm not dissing. Definitely not dissing.
Gunther's
great.
So you don't do that, right? All right.
Right.
Jeff, Meacham, you got connection? Can we come to you now? It's like a crapshoot.
If there's any doubt that WWE sees Oba Femi as a future top guy, he was in the segment with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar yesterday. They're going to have to try hard to screw this up. That's just the way it is. I was at New Year's Evil last year when he became the NXT champion. And even in that small little Shrine Auditorium, he had the aura. Dude, he is that guy. And and it is WWE, so it could happen, but they're going to have to try hard to screw this one up, because he was over yesterday. And he held his own in the segment with Rollins, Heyman, and Lesnar, and didn't say word one.
No.
Yep.
It was brilliantly booked.
Usually helps. I mean, we've had Strowman, we've had people in the past, and they have their little hey, this might be something, and then it fizzles out. So
yeah,
does he have the long term? Can he last as a main eventer long term?
They just have to, as our now excommunicated panelists would say, have patience, let it play out, and just let's get to Mania, and then let's see what happens after that. I will say, in addition to all the things that happened with Oba as part of the segment, can we give a little love to Paul Heyman again in the masterclass? He looked like absolute dog shit yesterday. He sold how frazzled he is just by the appearances. And when he brought Lesnar out, it was a moment. It was great. That whole opening segment of Raw was one of the best they've had in recent memory.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for the connection. All right, Noah.
Okay, so what we got so far for WrestleMania? Stephanie versus Liv, meh. Cade versus Rhea, meh. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, okay, this is getting interesting. Who threw the first punch? Y'all saw what happened last night. Stay tuned when we further talk about that. And now we have Oba freaking Femi versus Brock Lesnar. I really like this a lot. First WrestleMania match for Brock Lesnar, as we talk about since 39. You think about his track record where he came in as champion, always dominated, but Seth Rollins became the guy, the architect in 31. And the last time that Brock Lesnar lost to somebody at WrestleMania to either push something forward or draw a narrative, it was when Brock Lesnar lost the title to Drew McIntyre in front of nobody. If we didn't have the pandemic, probably a different story. I would not count out Oba Femi surprising us here. I would also not count this out going further. Now, speculation aside about Brock Lesnar being done at SummerSlam and who's going to face him, if they approach this like they did with Cody, which might I add was Brock Lesnar's last singles match, and Cody won in the end and got respect from Brock Lesnar, as of course me and Aaron saw that live in Detroit, this could really be huge. You talk about the next big thing. There has not been a bigger thing right now in WWE pushed to the level of being that spectacle than Oba Femi. So this is a huge opportunity for WWE to really cultivate who could be a leader of this business, considering what Jeff talked about, the segments that this guy has already been involved in, and he hasn't spoken a single darn word on the mic yet. This is huge. So to really show this is a new era and we really focus on the future, I want to see Oba Femi give me an upset. I want to be surprised at WrestleMania. I don't need a cheeky finish or dusty finish. I don't want to see a low blow or smoz. And I don't necessarily if I need to see a follow-up, but I will take this over Gunther because I think there's more potential in the result out of either competitor that still drives Oba Femi forward. If this was Gunther versus Brock, you would think it'd be a foregone conclusion because if Gunther loses, well, what do you do with him? He's a career killer, right? So this is a great change of pace. And as of right now, outside Roman and Punk, this is my most excited match for WrestleMania.
Now, I want to mention, so Brock and Roman were having a pretty good match at 31, and then the Rollins thing mixed it up. But they were having a pretty good match.
Yeah.
And that was younger Roman, right? When people
Yeah.
were behind him. And then Roman lost to Brock in New Orleans. I think it was the 34.
34, correct.
Then I think 38 or 39, whatever it was, Brock
38, unification.
Brock put Roman over and Roman became the undisputed champion. So that was a longer progression, which helped the Roman Reigns tribal chief character. So Brock does it at different levels. You can have a younger guy go over instantly, or you could do it like Roman and beat him initially, or, and then pay it off. And wasn't the rematch that same SummerSlam, Brock and Roman again, and the with the tractor and the ring flip?
Yeah.
So he worked him the whole summer basically. So yeah, kudos to Brock, and hopefully he can help make a star out of Oba Femi.
That's the goal I would hope right now. And I imagine that Paul Levesque, Paul Heyman, the actual Pauls that matter in WWE. And again, Oba Femi has to all be involved in this. I really hope that this is the direction for Oba Femi. If it's not, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
Thank you, Noah. All right, over to Aaron and Psycho Jet Black. See how I do that now? They're a team.
There might well be.
Now, and we were done before an hour. I was like, yeah.
Well, we have
I
several
almost
super
have to
chats.
make shows where we're done with the main event by 20 till quarter till, just so the end of it can be all those super chats, and then I can still get out of here at 8. See, that's why short topic.
Brilliant.
That's why he's a moderator, folks.
Accurate.
Anyways, regarding Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi, I'm hyped up for this one. I think it's the right call to do this match. We'll talk about Gunther in just a few moments here, but WWE has lightning in a bottle with Oba Femi. He's the right guy in the right place at the right time, and he's got that star presence that few guys have. Like, it's something you cannot teach. He just has it, and everything has worked. All the stars have aligned. He's got the cool entrance. Everybody's into the chants. And It's like Bill Goldberg. He is WWE's Bill Goldberg, and people criticized Goldberg for being too green, but Goldberg made a lot of green for WCW. They capitalized on him. They eventually blew it with him. I feel like he could have had a longer run than he did on top.
Yeah.
But with Oba Femi, I think they really need to have him beat Brock Lesnar. I feel very strongly on that. I think you got to keep him red hot, and I would put the title on him before the end of the year. Look at Brock. When Brock came in, it was right after WrestleMania 18, and by SummerSlam, he was the world champion. He was there, 6 months? Maybe less than that? Yeah, 5 months was there, and he was world champion. I think they have to do the same thing. Now, of course, you have to look at it from WWE's perspective. Are they worried that he's going to have an inflated ego if he gets pushed too quickly? He seems like a humble guy. From what I've seen from him in interviews, he seems like his head is on straight. Sometimes fame and money can change people, and maybe WWE, they're careful. They're cautious because Brock Lesnar got pushed really strongly, and then he walked out on the company. So there's that concern too, that the guy might feel like he's too big, and he has an attitude problem. So I could see WWE's perspective, but at the same time, when you have a gold mine here with him, I think you have to go with it and hope for the best and make sure he's locked in a long-term contract, 5 years, whatever, and push him to the moon. Jeff, what do you want to add to that?
My connection okay?
So.
Okay, first of all, Gino's comments spot on. Have Oba win the title at SummerSlam like Brock did the same night Brock Lesnar's going to retire. Look at that. That's tremendous, Gino. I applaud that. Oh, as far as Oba's attitude or whatever, at New Year's Eve, when he became the NXT champion, there were a lot of guys that were coming out the entrance to board the WWE's bus to go back to the main hotel or whatever. A lot of the longtime veterans and the guys who were just appearing on the show, just whatever, didn't stop for the fans outside. Oba stopped for every single person that was waiting along the side of that auditorium. Did not leave until everybody got their picture, got their autograph, whatever. That's the attitude this guy's going into this year with. Put the rocket on his ass, dude. Seriously, he's great in there. He's got an aura, and he's good with the people. He's got a good bang bang, Gino. And yeah, he's got a good attitude toward the people and toward the company. I say push his ass.
I agree with that. So let's get to the super chats. Psycho Jet Black sent in $2, says, will WWE have Oba squash Lesnar like Goldberg? I don't think that's necessary, though. I don't think they have to do that. If anything, I think they should go out there and have like a 20-minute match. Let them just have an epic battle where they're going at it. They're doing submissions. They're just having a crazy match. Show everybody that Brock Lesnar can do more than just a couple F5s. Let them have like a long, drawn-out battle where they're taking each other's shots, go to the outside, brawl, just have a tremendous fight where Oba just wins by the skin of his teeth, but he still overcomes Brock Lesnar. That's what I would like to see. I don't need to see like a 2-minute match. I want to see these guys go to war where they just beat the hell out of each other until one man is left standing.
We know Brock can do that. I mean, his match with Kurt Angle at WrestleMania, he could do more than, but he needs the right person to where it makes sense.
Yeah, like Cody, for example, it made sense with how deep those matches got from a wrestling standpoint based on Cody's amateur wrestling background and Brock Lesnar's undefeated NCAA background. With Oba Femi, though, you have that similar dynamic of size and power. But again, power and size also leads to an endurance factor and fatigue sooner rather than later. And again, Brock can definitely go the distance. Oba also proved he can go the distance with giants multiple times in triple threats and singles. So I like the idea, but maybe 15 is a more comfortable spot because at this point, I'm curious if Brock is going to suplex Oba as many times as John Cena. But again, really take Oba to the limit is what I want to see, and proving that Oba is the next big thing. You don't get a bigger opportunity to show your next big thing than beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yeah. And they could, how about Oba takes Brock Lesnar to Suplex City and throws him around a little bit, and then Brock comes back and throws him around. They could do some of the main big man spots, like do the superplex. There's all sorts of things they could do if they're creative. What I don't want to see is the finisher spam, F5, F5, F5. I want to see them change it up and do some different stuff.
Here's the question. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
Yeah, I would just say like find a happy medium between the 20-minute like technical submission and then the hits and Goldberg. Like I don't want to see a 96-second or whatever that was match. That was one of the few times I was actually rooting for Lesnar, and it didn't work out for me. Just saying, but I don't need to see them go 20. And whether he's gassed up or not, I think that's a little extreme claim in the chat room. But 15 is fine as long as you find the happy medium.
Yeah, and also Jeff, Oba Femi has more of a move set than Goldberg ever did. BJ, you were about to say something, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, do you have this match open WrestleMania on night 1 or night 2?
I would put it towards the end. I would put it like
Towards the end.
I think.
Okay.
I mean, Omos and Brock Lesnar open night 2, I believe, of WrestleMania 39.
Yes,
So it's not a bad idea to start with something like this as your opener. Plus, Brock, again, he might want to get out of Las Vegas sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
It really depends where everything else on the card, but I would say not main event and not even semi-main, but like the big build up before the letdown between. Yeah,
like the cool down basically is what you mean, Jeff. The cool down match.
Right.
I think it might be the opening match, though.
But the triple threat women's match spot. Yeah.
I think we really have to see what the whole card is before we can say, well, maybe this should go here or go there.
Fair enough.
I figured I'd just throw that out there.
It's a good idea.
I said, I know what match is going to close night 2.
Yes, you do. Acknowledge that.
If they did Cody and Orton night 2, I would be shocked. That would be one of the biggest shocks that I've ever had.
I'm pretty sure it's already set. They already said it's WrestleMania Sunday. Roman Reigns, Punk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shocked, but would you be pissed off enough where you would turn on the show? Or
No,
you'd be like,
well, they would make it night 1. So yeah, I would still be.
Okay.
Well, see, here's my thinking. If they were to make Roman and Punk night 1, which it won't be, it'll be 2, then I would start getting into, oh wait, why is Orton and Cody? Who's on?
Yeah, right.
Wayne. I'd start going down that rabbit hole. But again, like let's see. I mean, I'm gonna jokingly talk about it, but I'm never
holding out, folks. He's holding out.
Serious about it unless he shows back up to finish his story with Cody. The Rock I'm talking about. But anyway.
Yeah, I knew it.
Well, you know what? Hold on, Virtue. You might have a point. Because didn't Orton just say wrestling has more than one royal family?
He did. On the phone.
On the phone.
Yeah, I'm just saying, again, there's a story still to be had with Rock. But he's so far to Hollywood, like farther than he ever has been. It's just that this is like when he needs to get relevance again, or he needs something to do, and I don't think he's anywhere close to that. So I don't think we're gonna ever get Rock back. And the whole
Orton could be
announcing for New Orleans, and that got changed. That's the last thing we saw Rock. Pretty much,
accurate.
Not gonna happen. All
All
right,
right, let's keep on going with these super chats here.
I'll say, Big J, do your
Let's roll. Roll.
Dave, anything you wanted to add?
I think Virtue always thinks in the back of his mind because rocking. I think we all do. I think we all might not admit it, but we're always looking for an idea with Rock coming.
Well,
and I think
he wrestled in a match.
Right.
And did a spot.
And yet Aaron even mentioned it last night on the review of the show that he mentioned Rock, and the thing he did, I don't know if I want to say this, but you never know. I kind of thought it was his dad when he mentioned more than royal family because the Orton family.
Yeah, but then care about Cowboy Bob Orton besides.
Well, that's the thing. WWE doesn't really deliver with these surprises.
Right. But the only way they close the show, if we do see that they're closing night 2, then there will be something huge. There has to be. That's the only way.
Jeff?
There's more than one royal family in wrestling. Randy's on the phone with Aaron. Aaron just doesn't want to break kayfabe yet.
Thank you for that, Jeff.
Out of nowhere. Okay, I'll help you, G. I guess I'm Jimmy. He's Jay. Let's go. Move forward. Don't run it back.
All right. Oof. Shout out to Oof, who was on standby. We appreciate that. Oof, maybe next week. Oof says Brock Lesnar telling Oba Femi to put his foot on his chest last night shows you that Lesnar knows business. Absolutely.
Did he really tell him to put his foot on there?
Yeah, you could
I
see
must
it.
have
Lesnar
I
mouthing
must have
it
missed
to him.
it.
Remember the days you watch it and you wouldn't look for the cues. You would just be like, "Oh my god, he put his foot on."
Honestly, I wasn't watching for
But
cues.
no,
I was
no,
like,
Me neither.
to dissect the business, and he told him to do it. You know, they could do a better job too with cameras in front of them. But
I was
whatever.
like, I was paying attention to freaking Oba Femi power bombing Brock Lesnar. I'm not looking like.
these.
I'm like, is he gonna say something to Oba Femi? No, I'm not. No, come
You
on.
talk too much, homeboy.
If you look
never
at
shut
that,
up.
if you look that close into the business as a fan, you're already literally ruining yourself as a fan. Seriously.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing. I was like Big G. I didn't see that either. All I saw is him putting him down and then putting his foot on him and pointing at WrestleMania and saying, "That's where."
Yeah,
That was a great spectacle, by the way, too. And again,
Yeah.
we know if you've been a long-term fan, you know there's cues. Don't watch the product to actually find when they do the cues. You're looking way too close into that, or your
Yeah,
ratings
but
might change.
no,
way
the
far.
problem is then it pops up on social media because somebody like Sean Sapp puts it on there. Hey, look, he told him to put his foot on there. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he did that, but it's those people like that.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Point
Again,
stuff
I
out,
don't go on
all
social
these
media. I don't
people
know these.
start
I look at this stuff.
seeing it. Yeah.
I get exposed culture. Continue. Move it forward.
If you remember, I think a similar thing happened with Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar when they had their match before WrestleMania COVID. Brock Lesnar was claymored by Drew, and then Lesnar mouthed to him to hold up the WWE Championship. So it was a similar scenario there. Yeah, Brock Lesnar, he's a pro. He knows what he's doing.
And John Moxley did the same for Konosuke down under in Australia, according to what my friends have told me. So again,
Oh, yeah, that's right. When they had the draw, Moxie's like, tell Takeshita to lay me out with his finisher.
And to think, I only know this because people look that close to the business and told me. I don't look at that stuff. Have you ever tried to watch the product to see what happens next for a purpose?
All right. Jeremy
for the next
Dorset
one.
sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy says, could we see Brock Lesnar versus Gunther at SummerSlam or Survivor Series?
I mean, if he's done at SummerSlam, it's got to be there or it's not going to happen, period.
SummerSlam is where it makes sense. They have to fill the stadium in Minneapolis for 2 nights, and it's Brock Lesnar's hometown. Makes sense to have Lesnar put his career on the line against Gunther in Minneapolis. You're trying to sell tickets for that stadium show. I mean, it almost certainly will be the main event, maybe even the night 2 main event of the show.
That does make me wonder, though, going back to what Gino said, talk about the next big thing. That means you have Oba win the title night 1 and Lesnar be the retirement, or do you reverse the order, have Lesnar be the retirement night 1 and Oba win the title at night 2 to truly usher in the next big thing?
We'll have to wait and see. But now we're talking about 2 nights of SummerSlam, and
Exactly.
There'll be 2 nights of Royal Rumble and
2 nights Money in the Bank will probably happen soon enough.
All right, on to the next one.
It's a foregone, Jeff. You know it's a foregone conclusion.
All right. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Psycho. Says, will Paul Heyman or Gunther interfere in the Lesnar and Oba Femi match? Why would Gunther get involved? Gunther's
Why
not
would
even
Heyman get involved?
He died.
I think if any match has interference, it should, like the whole weekend, maybe Cody and Orton. I don't even want to see Punk and Roman with interference, even with the bloodline lurking, because I don't want Roman to have that heel bloodline stigma. So Cody and Orton should be the only match, if any, that has any outside interference or whatever.
Remember what Roman said.
I really think they should try to not do much interference at all at WrestleMania, because we all expect it now. We always expect the shenanigans. And I think just once they should try to not have any of it and just let there be clean finishes. Jeff?
Yeah.
Like I said, they have to try hard to mess it up with Oma. That's the way to do it.
But you know what, though? Then that happens, Aaron, and then people are bitching that there wasn't more. You know what I mean? They need to find it. That's why you got to have at least one match to have something.
This is why Bruce Pritchard always says they book
then
the ticket.
Bitch that I can't believe there weren't run-ins.
Right. I mean, fans will complain no matter what.
Well, God forbid someone at WrestleMania proves a point all on their own.
Yeah. You caught up?
Nope.
We got a couple more here.
Sorry for Jeff.
Fuck.
Big G, roll it.
Let's go on to the
All right.
next one.
All right, so Jeremy Dorset sent in $5. Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy's giving Psycho a run for his money tonight. Jeremy says, if CM Punk and Roman Reigns don't bring up AEW and CM Punk's dog's death, the build-up to WrestleMania is going to be a letdown. Well, what do you guys think about that segment on Raw? Like, I thought it was a little lackluster.
Okay, look, everybody expected Roman to come right back and bring up the dog, but yet there's all these weeks promos left, or however many, couple at least,
Yeah.
that they're going to confront each other. Well, so you got to save it. So last night was just like a time filler to me. It was nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's time, and whether they need to bring the dog into it or not, you don't have to. But yeah, last night to me was just to fill
I
it in.
mean,
Aaron, it was lackluster too because you brought it up last night for Punk to get upset because he was called old.
yeah.
I mean that was so weak, and but if they're going to keep having meetings like this, it's not going to always be from as good as the first one. And at this point, that's why there was finally some physical violence, because they had it with Cody and Randy. But still, that was he could have brought up anything else. AEW would have probably
what
been.
did Roman say about AJ Lee, about his wife? That's what, like that.
Oh,
That should
yeah.
have been when Punk did something.
That should have been the one. Yeah, that should have been more than calling him old.
That should have been that should have been the closer.
Yeah.
Like, if you really
Yeah.
wanted something to sting, or CM Punk to get burned by Roman Reigns, that should have been the closing line, not saying, "Oh, you're old." No shit, Roman, he's old. We're all old. Get the fuck out of here, Roman.
No,
I
maybe
swear.
the context of the word old, as far as his style. He's midlife crisis Punk. He has to believe that he's the next biggest face since sliced bread and can lead us to the
Yeah,
next
I know.
generation. So maybe he was calling him out more for that. In context, I could see why Punk might have thought a nerve was struck, because Roman's probably right. But yeah, you could have had a bigger way to go out of that promo. I thought the AJ Lee fan would have been the perfect.
Dude, I would have,
type Punk.
because if Roman would have said, that's the last thing we need after WrestleMania is for Cody to be the champion and for you to be the champion, the two that look like Beavis and Butthead, because of the memes that have went off. Dude, I would have popped for it. I would have popped for
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway,
He still probably would have punched him too for that.
that was better than old.
Agree.
Yep, that would have been way better.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for that one, Jeremy.
Oh my God, here we go. Keep on going, Aaron. Let's just keep it rolling.
right. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Psycho. Psycho says, do you think the reason we're getting The Rock as special guest referee for any matches, not getting The Rock as special guest referee, is that they don't want to get people's hope up for a match?
Yes.
I don't
Yeah,
think
why
The
not?
Rock is interested in doing a special guest referee spot.
It's because of The Rock's Hollywood schedule, his ego, and I don't think him and Triple H see eye to eye, and Triple H is in charge. So,
Yeah.
I mean, those are your reasons.
Yeah.
I think it's either The Rock doesn't match or doesn't show up. Bottom line, I think that's where we're at this point.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
anything he does, people will think that he's going to potentially do a match. So
the only thing that makes legitimate sense, that was brought up earlier, from my perspective, is if he's the one on the phone with Randy. Because then it actually sets up him and Cody.
That's the only thing. That's the only
That makes
thing.
sense.
Got a wee. Listen, one
So was I live in person for The Rock's last match at WrestleMania 40 Night 1?
you might have
think
been.
you were that way. I think you were.
Okay.
Yeah, and he did a lot of work in that match and pinned Cody, so that gives us hope for until he dies. Like, you know what I mean? He did it
Quite
once.
frankly, I think the last
Cena 2 years in a row in the midst of his Hollywood run back in the day.
Yeah.
So he's done it before. That's the thing. That's why we hold on to those little percent chances.
I think the Saudi Arabia WrestleMania is the last chance. If Rock doesn't do something there, it's not happening.
Agree.
That's where I'm at this point, because they'll
Agree.
throw a lot of money at him, and depending on where I think it'll just depend on where he's at in his career. If he thinks like he can get away with doing a Saudi Arabia show, he'll do it. Maybe he doesn't feel like he needs the money. Maybe he does. Who knows? I can't imagine he will need the money, but What's the phrase from Mr. Burns? I can always have a bit more. Oofman, help me on that. You're the Simpsons fan.
I'm just gonna say how much is enough.
Right. I'd give it all away for a little bit more. Something like that. I forgot the exact line, but it's from Mr. Burns.
Faster, Big G, faster.
But we hold on to that hope. Well, going into WrestleMania 40, remember how Cody was bloodied by The Rock with the bus? And then look what Orton did to him. And then Orton's on the phone mysteriously with something like, we think, and that's probably what they want us to do, even though they have no intention of delivering, just so we can keep buzz about it. That's why, you know what I mean? Because we've seen things in the past that make us think, oh, this would be a perfect thing to conclude that, even if it's 2 years later.
Yeah, just recreate it. And for all we know, Randy Orton wasn't even on the phone at all. He was just, just talking to a black screen.
All right, Jeff's out of here. Aaron, let's go. Boom, 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 boom.
Jeff had enough. 1 hour mark, he pulled a virtue. He's like, I ain't dealing with this anymore. Wait a minute, there he is.
Oh, he lost connection.
You're muted.
Somehow we still got to an hour. We were done talking about our topics 20 minutes ago.
Well, the super chats will do that, Virtue, and you probably aren't done yet.
All right, hold on, Jeff. Let me read this super chat. It's been on the screen now for a minute.
Oh, Christ. Here we go. Imagine.
Let's be realistic, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody, including AEW, is going to put a dent in the WWE armor. We talk about this for many years with WCW and TNA.
Okay.
Well, what they need is a hot storyline. Remember, NWO turned WCW's fortunes around. All it takes is one really hot storyline, and AEW could be a contender.
But also, too, there was a perfect storm back then because WWE was the shits. It was awful.
That is true.
Yeah, exactly.
That 95, 96 WWE was horrible.
Yeah,
and then
it was.
Better, right? Was the attitude stuff started. And there were still some good things in there, but for the most part, that was bad WWE, that era.
Yeah, it wasn't like they were like on all cylinders or like kept your attention in full. The last time people could say there was a war was WWE itself with Black and Gold and NXT when the audiences were split down the middle and takeovers were the perfect preview format for most people. Continue.
Yep.
You really miss that NXT, don't you?
You have no idea.
We do.
NXT!
NXT still existed. What would be your top wrestling? Would that still be over AEW?
Oh,
That's a hard one.
You're wrong for that.
Plenty of time to think. Well, I'm going to bring that up later in the future. Go ahead.
Fair enough. I look forward to it.
Jeff, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Unfreeze yourself.
What'd you say?
What?
Sign language, Al.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and let's get through these super chats through Psycho Jeff Black.
Okay, Jeff, Big G,
Type in
get
the
ready. It's your time to shine now. Okay.
Here we go.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. He says, imagine if Randy was talking to Ted DiBiase Jr.
Yeah. Nah.
I can take him out of jail first.
He'd be more likely to talk to Stardust.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. He says, imagine if Randy Orton was talking to Kevin Nash. Nash would tear his quad just talking to Randy on the phone.
About to say. Here's the gimmick tonight, folks. Imagine if Randy blank. Continue.
Yeah, here we go, Noah.
Yep.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says, imagine if Randy Orton was talking to Jack Perry. Well, that would not be useful because Jack Perry would want his revenge on CM Punk. He would be showing on Raw to confront Punk, not Cody Rhodes.
Randy would have to be facing Punk for that to work.
Exactly.
On to the next one. On to the next one.
Big G is losing it. He's falling out, folks. Worse than Eminem.
Caught up?
No, we are not. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Psycho. He says, imagine if Randy was talking to Jay Uso.
No yeet.
That would be Vince Russo. Vince Russo
really weird.
Vince McMahon, that would be great.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Psycho Jet Black to
Hey, that's another royal family virtue.
Exactly. Someone say the first family.
All right.
Yeah.
On to the
Psycho
next
Jet Black
one.
sent in a $2
Hey,
super
your
chat.
favorite.
Big G can imagine.
Big G, imagine if Randy was talking to Jeff Jarrett.
No, thank you.
He'd bring a guitar and hit Cody Rhodes with a guitar. Well, you hold Cody, and Jeff Jarrett delivers the guitar shot.
Oh
But
my
then Cody
God,
ducks
Noah.
and you get hit instead.
Look what Psycho just super
that might be
chatted.
the next adventures of Big G and Jeff Jarrett. Their attempt to beat up Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, my fat ass will beat up Cody Rhodes. Sure, okay.
Yeah, I'm about to say you eat a crossroads and you never remember your name again.
All right, let's keep on going with these stupid.
Oh,
You
my
know,
God.
I really wish Aaron could do like more than one of these at once on the screen. Just do like a collage. I wish YouTube had that capability.
Yeah.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Psycho. Says, imagine if Randy Orton was talking to TJS.
Oh, maybe we'll get.
Talking to all of you. Oh wait, that's never gonna happen.
About to say, yeah.
Hey, Noah, he's going to be able to put up all the super chats at once when NoDQ's 50 years anniversary instead of 25. Technology.
AI.
Wait,
On to the next
Aaron wants
one.
me to leave him in the No DQ review chat a little bit longer to see what his excuse is. I can't wait to hit delete
He
from
put.
chat.
He
Cannot
put.
wait.
Delete.
He
Delete.
he put in the chat. He put Dottie guys.
Oh, my gosh. I saw that.
Dottie guys.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but anyways, let's get to these super chats, Aaron. Oh my God.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Psycho Jet Black. Says, imagine if Randy Orton was talking to Tony Khan.
I mean, out of control. That's Florida.
Now that would be
Alright,
compelling.
Yeah, that'd
Next.
be interesting. Next.
Next.
All right. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says, imagine if Randy Orton was talking to Dustin Rhodes.
You keep stepping.
Ooh.
TJS
Uh-oh.
removed from group chat. Gone.
Wait a minute. Did you do it?
There it is.
I didn't see it.
You removed
Live
Howard.
in color.
He's gone.
Mm.
You should have let me put the big screen on you so we could have seen it up close. Oh well.
All right. But I
Can you
All right,
re-add them and then-
you can do a screenshot of it and still show
Yeah, about
Next.
sex.
on social media.
Yeah,
How
Dustin
y'all-
Rhodes, if Dustin wasn't under contract to AEW, I actually like that idea. That's the first good one you've presented for us.
Ah!
Eh.
And this relates to the family.
Eh. All right, next.
Chicken necks. Psycho Jet
Chicken
Black
necks.
sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Psycho says, imagine if Randy Orton was talking to Shaq.
Okay.
No.
And
ESPN basketball. Why not? I don't know if he's a fan of basketball.
Well, he performed in AEW years ago, remember?
Yeah, big acquisition. Take Shaq away from AEW.
next.
This is like an audition for a good super chat. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Psycho.
I'm sorry.
Says, imagine if Randy was talking to Eminem.
You only get one shot. Moving on. Non-copyright.
All right. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says, imagine if Randy Orton was talking to QT Marshall.
Then you'll be talking to Big Boom AJ next. Moving
Oh
on.
no. Yeah, that would lead to Big Boom AJ attacking Cody Rhodes.
And then we're get a Costco advertisement.
Every time he does one of these, and we just want to quickly move on, you need a cha-ching sound. Cha-ching. Go
Yeah,
to the-
cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
All right, Big G, what did you want to say?
I'm headed. I gotta leave. I gotta go out for. I'm getting ready to go for dinner.
Oh, he's
All
had
right.
enough of this BS. He's tired of it. Well, Big G, what's your plug?
There we go.
Yeah. You can follow me everywhere at Original Big G1, except for Instagram, Original Big G 1988, because Instagram sucks. And Psycho Jet Black, you can go stick it where the sun don't shine.
So we need a quick high with Big G and Jeff Jarrett going out to dinner. That's going to be a future episode.
Yeah, there you go. There you
We
go.
got new material.
Over a steak.
Well done steak or medium rare?
Like the one Mercedes was eating on the night of AEW. She was when she was eating steak at the ring.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a medium rare guy, but anyway, moving on.
Mr. Tito sent in a $2 super chat. Wait, what? Tito? Tito
Hey,
says,
Tito.
imagine if Randy Orton took Psycho Jet Black's mom to Pound Town. Damn.
All right. That's a unique comment. Moving on.
Big G is gone, so Noah Foster filling in for him.
I'm literally in the Big G spot, so I might as
Those
well.
were fighting words. Those were fighting words by Tito to Psycho Jet Black.
Clearly. I think Tito's even over it.
Oofman
King.
sent in a $2 super chat. Oofman says, at least the world is safe now. Fallout Boy? You guys know that one from The Simpsons?
Yeah, those
That's a good episode. The goggles, they do nothing. That's a great scene.
Moving on.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. He says, imagine if Randy Orton was talking to El Virtuoso.
Is he related to El Grande Americano?
Not that, but
Okay.
it would have
Moving
been
on.
me if you would have just said virtue.
Yeah, about to say, do you have an alter ego Latin America I don't know about, or a long-term brother? Moving on.
No.
All right, we got one more here from Psycho Jet
Ding.
Black. Says, imagine if Randy Orton was talking to Jade Cargill.
That's
Well,
what he wants. That's all right. Moving on.
Jade
Okay,
and
moving
Cody
on.
do have history, so
No one didn't say Batista.
I'm about to say, don't give him more ideas. Moving on. Maybe
Okay.
make Jade actually seem relevant.
We ready for our plugs?
wait. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Psycho. Says, imagine Randy dropping a deuce on Mr. Tito.
Okay, I think we got an internal super chat battle here. Let's move on before this turns into an all night long
All right.
super
No,
chat
go,
Iron Man match.
no, go ahead and do your plug.
I may be choosing the first nice and on next on YouTube. I only wish to remind you,
Yeah,
I'm
slow
professional.
down.
Simple as that.
All right, about 50% speed.
Fine. Find me if you choose. And then Foster 1916 on the X and on YouTube. I only wish to remind you to just your life and enjoy professional wrestling. Too. It's as simple as that. See you tomorrow for AEW coverage and post predictions morning with Gino.
Thanks for being
And
on.
maybe another review.
Dave Shuffler.
Well, thank you guys for having me on. You can find me at Facebook. You'll probably see me making comments on NoDQ.com, everything that Aaron posts. Say yes to NoDQ, get a shirt, as Oofman would say, and give a thumbs up to this video. And let's get out of here before Psycho starts again.
Thank you for being on for TJS, and he is gone. All right, Jeff.
He gone.
You can find me on my upcoming appearances. Greg Cherry's show. We got Sacrifice with the Simply Reliable Studios. We got WrestleMania coverage and so much more. So make sure you follow the Jeff Meacham Network, the Greg Cherry brand, and so much more.
Wow.
At _ Jeff.
You sound different, Jeff.
Like Aaron. All right, Aaron.
All right. Where's my royalties, Jeff, for that one? All right. So there's a comment in the chat room that we should spend 5 minutes per each super chat. So I want to throw this to the panel here. Oofman sent in $2. You guys got 5 minutes? How we could stretch this to 5 minutes? Real acid? Don't everybody talk at once.
Yeah. Just
5 minutes. He wants us to spend 5 minutes on this super chat.
I'll give you
about
5
real
seconds.
acid.
we're done.
All right.
We give 5 seconds unless that super chat's for $50.
All right. Virtue, what's your plug?
TJS, you want back $100. 100 super chat.
100
I
smack
don't
a
know. It's kind of reasonable, and I would be funny if you did that, and then you got back in the chat and no showed again, and I kicked you right back out. But anyway, follow me
Wait,
on
wrong one.
there at NoDQ_virtue. You don't have to show it. It's Punk and Reigns. You don't have to show it. That's it. There it is. Aaron?
All right. Just stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest wrestling news and rumors. And hopefully next week, if Jeff's on, he'll have his audio strained out and his video. Maybe we'll have the scooter. Who knows?
Well, next week, I know Gino will be on. Oofman has a chance. I think JJ is going to be on the 31st. So we're going to see some different faces back on here very soon. But that's it. For Dave Scheffler, for Big G, for Jeff, for Noah, for Aaron, for Colin, for Gino, the whole NoDQ crew.
Oh, wait. Whoa.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good night,
Tito's
folks.
here. Tito sent in $5, so Tito keeps us on a little bit longer. Bigger disaster: the WrestleMania 42 attendance or the Strait of I can't even pronounce it.
Hormuz.
I don't think. I mean, is anything really a disaster? I don't think we really have a disaster. I don't know.
I mean, how much money have they made from WrestleMania 42 ticket sales?
I'm sure it's a lot.
Yeah, probably a significant
lot.
Yeah, and and then war and conflict, that's political. We don't talk about that here on another review.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just talk about professional wrestling and peace. That's all we talk about.
Amen.
We're peaceful people. All right.
Amen.
We spent a little bit of time on TV.
Hey, Saudi shows for WWE could be affected right in the upcoming future.
They could.
That,
and if that happens, we'll definitely talk about it. But for now, I think the WrestleMania 42 attendance, there's something called papering. They can give away tickets in Las Vegas. They'll fill up that stadium. Their bottom line for the event, they've probably already come close to making what they made last year with the inflated ticket sales.
What are they at, Aaron? 40,000 a night? 37,000?
Almost. They're like 37, 38,000 per night. But the ticket prices are way up from last year. So you have to take that into consideration.
Like a back-to-back repeat town, that's not easy.
No, it's not.
Yeah, like that's kind of weird that they did that. But anyway.
All right. So on that note, we are finished.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week, and I will be the moderator. But don't worry, Gino will be here as well.
Have a good night, folks.
Good night.